Happy versus Gamja. Let me go tweet about this really quick, because I forgot to. But it's going to be the first best of three, so Zomgrub, would you mind starting the intros, madam?
In the top left, as the Red Terran, it's Happy.
And his opponent in the bottom left, as I apparently have a sniffly nose, it's going to be the blue Zerg player, Gamja. Now this feels like we're going back to the Zotac Cup right here. You got Happy, who used to not just play but win almost every single European Zotac Cup he'd compete in. And then Gamja was the guy who would play in North America. He was on Quantic for a time, for those who really want to throw this back and remember. It's just kind of funny to see how far these guys have gone, only to come back and fight each other once again in a weekly best of three.
Yeah. And Happy must not be having too much difficulty with Legacy of the Void lag. I guess you've been experiencing less of it ourselves. And I guess players might be experiencing less of it. I haven't heard as many complaints. But that was a big issue. He just didn't like playing anywhere that he might have a little bit of lag.
Yeah, Happy, for some context here, guys, we've invited him to big tournaments we've thrown. Like, you've seen our prize pools have varied between $2,000 to $5,000, and he's declined pretty much every single one of them, just because at some point it would mean he had to play off server. So it is interesting to see him play in the Olimoleague. But my context to this, and I kind of made a joke about this when we met Mike Morhaime and some of the other folks at Blizzard this past weekend, where Legacy of the Void doesn't make everyone's lag better, but it makes everyone's lag equally worse. So maybe the problem of lag isn't as big of a deal.
I guess. We really have experienced less of it, though. I mean, we have also, I guess, been casting and playing a little bit less, traveling so much. Right? But, I don't know, I haven't complained about it lately, casting. I haven't, like, you know, entirely dropped out.
Oh, seriously, stop talking. What's wrong with you?
It does still seem like it oddly, like, lags the rest of my computer, though, which I've always, like, wondered if that was really happening or if I'm just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. You bring up a good point where I didn't really notice it, maybe just because it became spoiled with the latency, but there's been no more, like, me complaining on stream, like, okay, guys, we got 10 FPS, fuck life, So maybe they did.
We did complain about it. Yeah, maybe they repaired it, or whatever. Anyways, as actually quite a few lings came out, I believe, maybe like 8 or something. No real good reason other than if you can get away 2 of them, then they could maybe kill a command center, a SCV building command center, anyways. But they're not going to be too helpful. Oh, but he's gonna kill himself.
I know, the amount of times I've done precisely that move and had to apologize to you directly afterwards. But Ruins of Saras is like one of the most annoying maps to try and use the Reaper on, and credit goes to Happy for actually using it quite well. One of the biggest things he did was he forced out a lot of extra lings over drones. That's nice. Forced the attention of Gamja here as well. But not a lot of damage done. Still, nice to see the Reaper being used correctly.
I don't see why Gamja went for so many lings still. I mean, yeah, he didn't get any across the map. That would have been kind of a dream anyways, since this is a big map. And by then, the command center is probably already finished. So I don't know, but it is, you know, those are drones that you're supposed to have instead. But now he's droning. He's gonna have to deal with Hellions this game and a Liberator, but no armory?
No, he's actually upgrading the... You know, it's no longer part of the armor. You have to upgrade on the
right.
Patch hype.
Right.
So this is interesting that he still wants to aim for the Liberator. Timings are not as hard as they used to be. You're not going to have this really crazy fast hellbad Liberator push. And that's all well and good, but Liberators still suffer a lot of the problems they did before. So we'll see how this gets handled with its new timings. I thought he was just going to go back old school Hellion Banshee, but again, times are changing and we'll see how things play. The creep spread, though, is something I'm really looking forward to. Not just, again, the faster receding, but the faster spread is kind of cool, too.
Sure. Starts damaging the queens a little bit. I mean, what's nice about changing the requirements from Armory to Tech Lab is that you can't reactor out the Liberators. Initially, anyways. I mean, obviously you could swap over later, but there's an extra task. I don't know how strong this build is still, honestly. People seem to be figuring it out before the patch. I can't imagine it's gonna that difference of a response in this patch. You still want to get the spore crawlers initially to make sure they can't cover certain zones, like up here. Ruins of Saras does have a couple of really like pesky spots for Liberator, though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Yep.
Now, not unstoppable, but certainly annoying. Meanwhile, everything is focused on the Hellions on the other side of the map, and rightfully so, but these Hellions are just not dying, Zombie Grub. Happy has lost 0 units so far.
Oh, they are all Hellions instead of Hellbats, but that almost seems to be going in favor of Happy. He's able to kite a little bit more.
Yeah,
he's going to take out the Queens. Maybe Stimlings.
Alright,
some
so
surface area.
Kill the Queens ends up costing quite a few of his Hellions here, but even then, kind of worthwhile, because all this distraction means these Queens are on the front line defending the Hellions, not stopping the Liberators. So this thing's gotten away with about 4 kills. It forced 2 full transfers of drones as well, and frankly, these 4 crawlers are now out of position, so more are surely going to die. In fact, the Queen...
that Queen's gonna die.
Rip.
Yep. Yeah, this is just awfully annoying. In Archon mode, you see a lot less drone kills, but just by yourself, there's a lot to do.
Always forget that they one-shot the larva.
Yeah, they can even take out eggs.
Yeah, if you guys actually haven't seen, there's some nasty versions of this where you can still try and build Mutalisks, but oops, the eggs die before they can hatch, and yeah, Liberators were pretty abusive. But it looks like the new timings, this wasn't exactly a Liberator rush in terms of like what we've been seeing in the past, but I do think the biggest problem was Happy really did a great job distracting the front lines. I mean, Gamja did not look back to his base for the longest time.
Yeah, and what started out as 4 drone kills is now up to a lot more.
18.
Not a lot of mining, just in general either. So the amount of mutas that come out, because that's the scariest thing, You only went for Hellions and Liberators, which aren't that great against air if you just much box a little. So what if you do no damage and then 10 mutas suddenly out in your face? Do you have enough production back at home to stop that? Well, maybe, but definitely if you stop them from making 10 mutas, if only 2 mutas, there's like nothing to be afraid of.
Pulls the Marines back, focus fires that one Baneling. 3rd commands are down, not an issue. Meanwhile, Liberator will get a kill on the other side of the map on the mutas.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah, but it's only 2 mutas. Well, not 1 muta. It's only 1 muta. This isn't scary. You don't have to panic and get a bunch of missile turrets and a bunch of Liberators. You just do what you want to.
Shout out to Muffin Meister, by the way, for the 8-month resub. Thank you again for coming back.
It's too bad. Gamja opened up that last game with those Ravagers. Sort of had a much easier time dealing with everything here had he done that, but I decided not to. Lack of scouting? Lack of good response?
I do like Ravagers being the response to it, but it is probably something where he really didn't expect that, or he didn't see it coming, or... he did deal with it, but he just went down a tech path that was the slower one, unfortunately, and that's why he took so much damage. I really don't know how this goes for him at this point, because the thing is, he's still on the road to making Banelings, he's getting Baneling speed, Mutalisks are certainly going to be helpful, but it's not going to be much of either.
Yeah. And maybe he forgot that he wanted to go to Corruptors as well. I mean, Mutas should be the initial reflex for every Zerg out there. But now making Corruptors, that's usually what we're seeing more. They're a little bit sturdier. They do have that added option to attack buildings, so at least they're not totally useless once all the air is gone. And they really are necessary versus, the Liberator shots. They can, if they clump up once, I mean, that sucks, but they can take a few shots like that. Mutas, they gotta be a little more careful. Yeah, I don't think he can actually take care of this army.
No. All he had to do
gets all the great shots.
All he had to do is focus for 1 Baneling. That was the worst part of this. Corruptors go down pretty much instantly. 3 Banelings almost have speed, but even if this 3rd base were to live through this, it'd still just be a little too much.
That was nifty.
Yeah, the focus fire was good. Looks like Beastie was not over-exaggerating when he said Happy was looking good in the beta right now.
Yeah, no, he certainly looks good, but maybe that's because Gamja messed up the defense in the Liberator.
Well, either way, GG's to Happy. He'll take game number 1 in this best of 3. Looks like Top did advance in the top half of the bracket. No surprise there. Plus, it's his name. We don't know the result of Guru versus Rise. If that's Guru as in the European Zerg Guru, I'm actually really curious on that. But I really want to see Bjorn a little bit later today as well. Bly's still playing against Mamuri. Hart now his opponent, Ruxer. Oh, I didn't realize Hart was playing today. That's awesome. Cool. I love looking at the Olimoleague brackets because I always see 3 names that'll stick out to me, and then later on I'll see the other 2 that I missed. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad they're here today. Sugarcoat for the 5-month resub. Thank you very much for coming back. Zombie Grub, opinion though.
What?
Because I saw this brought up in chat earlier. I guess I actually haven't worn my suspenders on stream for a while because I lost them for a while, guys. But are suspenders hipster?
Yes.
Really? I feel like the practicality outweigh. Okay, never mind. I don't know. Whatever. Because I've seen some hipster shit recently, guys. We both have. I don't think I saw a single person at the Ace Hotel wearing suspenders. I'm just saying.
Well, there's different types of hipsters.
Different breeds. It's like looking for a new cat. You're just like, well, this one's got a strong background for hair.
What? What type of breed is that?
I don't know. I was just thinking about the whole stupid man bun conversation the other night. All right, terraform, guys. We'll see you in a sec. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 3. Spawning in the bottom right corner of the map, he's up 1-0 in the series. He's the Red Terran player, Candies Love Me, better known as Happy.
The top left as the blue Zerg, it's Gamja.
I'm curious about Happy's name, actually. He's not really that hilarious of a guy. You know, he's a very serious player. You see him even at Home Story Cups. Not exactly cracking jokes like everybody else. So I'm wondering where the name Candies Love Me come from, because that is just a weird name.
It is. It's oddly, you know, jokester. It's oddly playful.
Like, is he just so sweet? I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows? That's questionable.
At least his name isn't like Grandma's Sloppy Kisses or something weird like that.
Ew. Why would you think of that?
I was watching a YouTube video last night.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's like oddly specific and oddly perfect. You know, like it's not good, Ricky. It's not good.
Yo, 100 part 2 to anyone who knows where that reference is from. It's gonna be hella obscure. Anyways.
Gamja went for a pool first this game. I don't know if he's scared of last game once the Reaper do less damage. I mean, it is Terraform. Maybe there's more than one Reaper this map. I'm not sure, but he had those lanes definitely in time for the SUV. Gonna have the Queen definitely in time for the Reaper. But that the new grenade means that isn't such a problem. You can still do damage. You may not be able to kill anything, but you can do a lot of damage with the splash that it has. Oh, cool trick. I liked that. Only works once though.
Yeah. Then it's kind of like, all right, same problem that we have normally. Book it, boys. Leg it.
Oof. Look at the animation for that.
The Queens and Siege Tanks in Siege mode do have like the silliest Reaper grenade reactions.
I like the roaches. They freak out the most.
Well,
when they're in the air.
They do, and that's true, especially when they're graviton beamed by the Phoenix. But the tanks, because this doesn't happen too often, I guess. I just love that they're little things they put in the ground to hold them in place start wiggling around. It's like, what's happening?
It is kind of weird. It shouldn't happen. There we have the roaches again that we saw versus the last Terran Gamja played against on this map too. Maybe more, he's more scared of the Liberator push on this map than the last one. See,
Terraform I would definitely say is a lot worse to deal with than Ruins of Saras, but the problem I have with this is like, okay, so he did this build versus Overstimmed, and we thought, okay, this was just a weird push, but maybe back then he was expecting Ravagers, or sorry, Liberators, and then because they never showed up, he went for the push, and that makes a lot more sense for what happened in game number 1. But the question is, if he was willing to do that versus his previous opponent, why didn't he open versus Happy that way?
That's what I'm asking. Maybe you just didn't think it was that bad on Terraform or on Ruins, but it is. Ruins does have 1 or 2 spots. You know, that aren't covered by spore crawlers, and it's quite annoying. So, I don't know. Maybe he just got reminded. He was like, "Oh, foolish me! I thought I was playing Heart of the Swarm for a second. It's crazy."
Yeah, that's how he really did go full back like Zotac Cup.
Yeah, I mean, he got the 2 mutas too instead of the corruptors. And then you got Corruptors, so obviously he was messed up somewhere. He just didn't expect it. And this time, well, he is gonna expect it. And the Roaches, Ravagers, whatever he has, aren't only gonna help against the Liberators, they are going to have that range deal with the Hellions.
Benefit of not being armored or light. They won't take too much damage from anything here. I know they discussed potentially making the Adepts armored. That's not live yet, right?
No, I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
I thought it already, like, it was supposed to change PvP, and they were, like, surprised it didn't or something? I don't remember.
I was just curious because I noticed that we don't exactly have a ton of Protoss in the brackets, and we did recently just have a show match, guys. 3 best of 5s,
yeah.
TVP, ZVP into a PvP, and Protoss is looking better than ever right now, frankly. But that was on the old patch a couple of days ago.
Not sure. Okay, first of all, this attack, it doesn't go well with the Hellions, but it forced out 3 spine crawlers and again a delayed third. So even just by doing the attack, I think, you know, Happy did enough because there's no threat of a counterattack that would kill him. There's not 10, 15 mutas, there's not 20 banelings. The army's really not that scary. So I think everything went okay for Happy. It wasn't it's obviously not as good as last time, but it's still not bad.
Well, this time he's also struggling to get any kills. The Ravagers are covering the main. The 2 Queens are doing well in the natural or third base, both, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, he's not getting any direct kill. Now he's starting to.
Now he's starting to, yeah.
But even without all of it, the response that Gamja had to do, I think, was too much.
I'm curious because this actually is funny. This is how I feel a lot of these games go. You the first couple Liberators are not so good at first, then you start panicking. All of a sudden, your solid defense becomes terrible, and you've lost a ton of drones. It is worth noting Gamja only lost 7 this time, so not that bad. Really, not that bad. But it looked like it was starting to get that slippery slope.
Well, he had to spend money on 3 spine crawlers. That did help, granted, but there's those 3 spine crawlers. That's what you usually want in this matchup. You want to wait a little while longer anyways to get the static defense for drops later on. And, his third is delayed, although it is now fully mining. His upgrades were a little bit delayed. Happy's only a little bit ahead on that regard. And the STV count really isn't that bad, comparatively. You know, this wasn't a dedicated 2-base opener. It was a 2-base opener, sure, but 50 STVs, 65 with a 3rd CC, and all these mules actually mining where they should be. Happy's okay.
We do have a resub. I want to give some love to. Thank you very much, Sanka. You did 5 months in a row. Very nice. I love our resubs. I do watch a lot of other Twitch streamers. For those who don't know, get inspiration for the channel and all this other stuff. Not just necessarily StarCraft streamers. And I gotta say, like I'm gonna brag on this. We have some of the bigger like resub counts. It always seems like everybody's got new subs all the time, and that's good. But it also means that none of them are sticking around for more than a month. We constantly see these bigger numbers, like 5, 12, 18, like, and I can't tell you guys how happy that makes me. So thank you for sticking through us through thick and thin. Anyways, a couple tanks heading towards the main. Gonna find a little bit of trouble here with the Ravagers just moving out of position. So we'll also get blasted by those tanks.
Pretty dangerous. There wasn't a guarantee that Gamja was going for a Roach Hydra Lurker. He could have tried to transfer over into Corruptors, and then he would have lost one of these units, either Liberators or the tanks. Instead, gets some really nice shots, soaks up a lot of Banelings. Probably still worth.
Yeah. Banelings on a tank, that's what you would conventionally see. This Ravager attack, or sorry, not Ravager attack, the Liberator attack while this went on, did get quite a few more kills. Not significant amounts, it raises it up to 10. Denies mining on several gases. For somebody like Gamja, not exactly low on gas, but could definitely use a lot more.
Yeah. This harassment, I mean, it was scouting. It could have bought time, too, if Gamja was going up for a huge push. He's not. But now Happy has Stim and Medivacs. Yeah, we're going to see Lurkers.
I hope the game goes on long enough for us to see Lurkers, at least. For those who don't know, they allegedly recently, changed the Lurker sound. Zombie and I actually got to hear it when we went to the Blizzard offices. We were complaining so much, and it's hilarious. The guy who's in charge of the sound effects for StarCraft 2 had seen Zombie-Gub's YouTube video, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you're Zombie-Gub, I've seen your video." It was hilarious watching him nerd out for it, but they have 100% made the Lurker sound not terrible anymore.
Yeah, the sound guys are actually, like, oddly, I don't know.
He was nice. I liked him.
No, he was really nice. That wasn't what was odd though. Is that they were happy to get feedback. Where I don't know, maybe like everyone else, just like, oh, we get so much feedback on design and balance, and everyone just whines all the time. Where the sound guys are like, yeah, you guys actually said something, and we were like really eager to help you out and like try and fix it. Like we agreed totally. They're like oddly optimistic. I don't know.
No, it's cool though. It's a good attitude to have, and I really do hope that that lurker sound is in fact live. It'd be cool to see, as I imagine we're gonna see about 4 lurkers in a moment's time. I can't really replicate it very well, guys. We could just describe it as just louder, and it's much more noticeable. And
yeah, it's more, it's impactful. Yep, chunkier is the right word. It's still like, I mean, in coolness factor, like the metallic ring of the Rude War lurker is probably still cooler. But what was most important about this one is that you could actually hear it, like legitimately as a game, like balance issue. You could not hear it, and thus you underestimated how powerful a lurker was.
Nice move from Gamja, by the way. We'll pick off the SC build in the command center. Won't be able to kill it, but nice denial. Anyways, that sound effect that we're gushing over might not actually be live, but we were told it was going to the next patch, and they may have meant like the next patch, not this patch.
Oh, it's there. It's still very low, though.
Yeah, the sound version we heard was much louder. That's the feedback we'll give them, right?
But that was also, like, on a test map with, like, you know, 8 Marines. Not a whole lot of battle going on. But I do... You have to listen closely, unfortunately. But it does sound chunkier.
Yeah, it's discernibly more noticeable. It's just not as loud as I thought it was going to be. At any rate, sorry guys, we got a little excited just because we're like, yeah, we're saving esports.
Not quite, not yet.
Yeah, almost. Scans from the Liberators, though, are going to take out these lurkers, so we're not going to get to hear them for very long. Nope, never mind. Nothing gets out of this. Hatchery is killed, not cancelled. We have a small counterattack of Lings, but not enough to do any significant damage. And frankly, the Baneling count might just be a little too low? Question mark?
Yeah. The second army's on the way, so he splits a little, and that's it for all the Banelings. I mean, he actually doesn't even need a second army. Oh, he needs all the Liberators. Oh dear God.
God.
Oh, well, none of those eggs are surviving.
Nothing under this general area is going to live.
Yeah, this is game over.
Yeah, there's just too much spewing across the map. The counterattacks have been good, though. I will give Gamja that much, but not effective is the problem. Good game, Scott. Looks like Happy will take a very clean 2-0 in the series. And looks like the reason we were so delayed on the top half of the bracket, by the way, is Guru was waiting on a walkover. So he's playing against Beyond right now. Now, I'm not sure if this is